I'm going to play a deck that I have in paper called Red Punch. It is for the format Pioneer, which in Magic Arena is called Explorer because it's only the cards that are in Magic Arena that are legal in Explorer. But I think that this deck is really silly, and I have a lot of experience on it, and I'd rather play with it right now. Let's see, I hope I'm on best of 3. Ooh, I'm not. So this one game is just going to be a lone game. I meant to do best of 3 for what that's worth. That was silly of me. Okay, so here we have Cacophony Scamp. So basically the strategy with this deck is to play a small guy, make the small guy big, and then throw it at your opponent in a way that deals a lot of damage. My opponent is on Izzet, so it's probably Phoenix, which can be a lot of fun. But we'll just, we'll play our little scamp. We'll see if our opponent knows what they're up against. Probably would have been better for me to play that on turn 2, but it's possible that they would have had a counter spell. Would have been a lot better for me to play that on turn 2, because then I could have protected it. I'm not doing a good job of displaying my acumen with this deck. That was definitely something where I played it and then was like, should have done it this way, but it should be fine, and it just wasn't. It wasn't fine. Oh, what is life but a series of lessons? I tweeted something silly. I want to see if that did well on Twitter. Oh yeah, people. Yeah, I got 4 likes on Twitter. What up, Mac? Welcome, Mac. You want to play some Helldivers soon? We will stream some Helldivers tonight. Except we will have to relaunch the stream because I can change the stream to a Yu-Gi-Oh stream, and people who tune in will still be like, it's another card game. This is fine. If I'm streaming an M-rated bloody Helldivers game when people tune in thinking they're getting a card game, that's just not that's not permissible by my standards for transparency with titles. And oh no, this is why this deck has a companion. Well, it's actually because the companions are broken and you can just have them in your deck. Yeah, what Max said. I like this song too. I would never put in a YouTube video because of the voices, but I like it for setting the tone. I really like doing the hot dog emoji arms, or the hot dog from Snapchat. Kind of like a robot or a hot dog walking. I would like to stream some Yu-Gi-Oh tonight, though. I do like Yu-Gi-Oh. I think when I'm more brain dead, I'll play the Yu-Gi-Oh game. Not because it's easier to play. It's quite the opposite. But you can like bring an energy to it. I can bring that like Yu-Gi-Oh energy of pretending I'm watching it on a Saturday. So yeah, this deck can be pretty rough sometimes. But hey, look, we got 2 1/1s. And we can give them both Monstrous Rage. We're not going to swing because we want to keep them for now. I keep them. But we can make them pretty big and do some damage, which is what this deck does. I wonder if in Magic the Gathering 0 is considered even or odd. Okay, 0 is considered even by in Magic the Gathering. That's interesting. Wait, no it isn't. Wait, I just Hmm. Oddly uneven. I guess can you put 0? Okay. Obosh treats 0 CMC choices as odd. So it seems like Magic the Gathering has some inconsistency with that, but it's probably to favor 0 CMC as fitting the criteria. So it doesn't seem too bad. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to swing with 2 creatures. They're going to declare blocks on one of the creatures. On the creature we don't declare blocks, we are going to give it 4 power, 8 power, or 7 power, 11 power. Oh, I guess 9. My math is a little off. But that's fine, because that's enough. I'm gonna do 9 damage. Oh, that's crazy, but oh, you may be thinking, they still have 8 life. How are we gonna do? We're gonna cast this thing called Thud. Gosh, my counting was so off there. It must be stage fright. And that does another 9 damage and wins the game. That's what this deck is trying to do. And if I kept that Scamp on the board, that game would have been a lot slower or faster. Wow. I keep saying things that are correct. I haven't streamed in a while. Must be a little too in my head. That's totally fine. We're having fun. We are going to do best of 3 explore though. With some best of 3 punch. What are y'all punching today? If you've got a pillow near you, punch that pillow. We love punching things, and when we don't inflict harm to anyone. Okay. These look okay. This might not look like a creature, it becomes a creature. Hello. One downside of playing best of 3 Explore is that it's such a niche format, like compared to other formats on Arena, that the best of 3 people tends to know a bit more about what they're doing. So yeah, this land is actually pretty good against Ledger Shredder. Because Ledger Shredder decks usually want to put Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard, and the creature on the back of this says that creatures who die from being dealt damage get exiled. So it's a niche, but you have to leverage any advantages you get over the best deck in the format, which, yeah, it's Ledger Shredder. There is a best, and it's not the deck I'm playing. There is a most prominent deck. It's a deck that people are playing. I don't know why they said nice to me when I wasn't doing something good. That feels passive-aggressive. So right now, we could deal 6 damage and then throw for 6. I would rather be coy about what I'm doing and have 2 swingers for that. Because if I throw, I want it to be really impactful. And I know dealing 12 right now would be really impactful, but I think having 2 creatures for that would be better. Okay. Let's see if they draw a land. And if we draw a land, it's going to be really hard for them to respond to this. I love that their name is Unbanned Splinter Twin. I guess that's cut off by the format, but that is that is their name. And that's perfect for an Is It. That card was a big part of Is It decks. Okay. Lost my creature. That's okay. Theirs got bigger? Why don't you swing? Yeah, goofball. Okay, this is gonna be more impactful. They're all tapped out. We might win this. 3, 3, 3. That's 11 damage. And we have Thud, which doubles that. So, bop. Bop. That's fine that they're doing their thing. They're not going to be alive. They don't have a land to respond to me, and there isn't any instant counters in this format. Gonna just give them the impression that they're still alive. Bop. Thanks. Stop saying nice to me, bro. You don't even know. Now we're gonna deal 11 damage to them. Woo! Nice. Nice. Okay, so they have our sideboard is pretty wonky, admittedly, because it was at right after the ban of explore creature, not explore, whatever creatures could do cascade. So we only have 2 rending volleys, but that's fine because we also have claim the firstborn, which can snag their ledger shredder if it gets too big. Just gonna take some of these built to smashes out. Built to smash isn't a terrible card, but it's more restrictive than the other pumps because it can only be activated when your creature is attacking. So when I have to make cuts, I do cut that one. This looks like an alright hand for their, because they've probably boarded in some removal. So I think Prowess is the play here. Turn 2, we're not really going to play any instants or sorceries. We're still just going to bring creatures in. Fireblade Charger is really goofy because if it dies from like a thud effect, it deals the death damage and the thud damage, because when it dies, it deals its power damage equal to its power to any target. So with thud, if you get it to a 4 and then you thud it, that's 12 damage instead of 8 damage. And I'm sure you can tell how that can scale. First, we have to draw thud, but I prefer to play optimistically, especially when we're up a game. So it looks like they drew stuff that can destroy my creatures in the form of this, which can deal 5 damage to target creature. But I ain't worried. Look at me. I'm holding my pump spells because I don't know why there's a graphical glitch when someone swings in this game. Holding my pump spells because then my Cacophony Scamp can be the best scenario, but if they had bolted my charger right there, I could have dealt some damage pumping. But Cacophony Scamp, when it deals damage when it dies, and then also this is Explore. When it dies and deals damage, you can choose to sacrifice it when you deal damage to your opponent, and it deals power equal to its power. It deals damage equal to its power. Getting words mixed up a little bit, a little frazzled. Maybe I should have slept better. But yeah, so right now, if Cacophony Scamp were to connect, it could deal 6 damage and then 12. I know that seems kind of Christmas Land Magic-y, but I think the trample is going to be worth it here. So let's see if they block Cacophony Scamp. Looks like they're going to. They think they've outsmarted me, but alas, they don't realize that I want to kill their creature, and that having a permanent with some power toughness is still good. Though, after seeing the top card of my library, I don't feel that's necessary. Because I have all these creatures on board, and I've got a guaranteed triple 3 power pump. So, yeah. Look at that! We won the best of 3 on silver. It's something. It's not mythic, but it is silver. Yeah. I played Pioneer at a local game store recently. Only 2 people showed up, so we just played best of 2. And I went 2-0 with this deck. Which, you know, was fun. Of course, the matchups had nothing to do with who won and who lost, but it's my favorite paper deck that I own because it's just so goofy. It's like, oh, I got red creatures. I'm going to throw them at your face, and you better stop it, or else you're going to die. Let's go, Penguin. You and me, Penguin. Yeah. Sam Nielsen, Boros Heroic List. I've probably played a variant of it. I used to really try to make Heroic Prowess work around Strixhaven, and the list hasn't changed that much since. I'd have to see it though. Let me pull that up. I definitely gave him some, gave Sam some attention on Twitter when I saw that. Boros Heroic. Yeah, I do have a lot of this list. I don't have the weird lands, but other than that, I'll see if I can make this out of my wild cards later. So, even though Soulscar Mage takes a turn to come out of Summoning Sickness, so sometimes it's better to play before Swiftspear, I think guaranteeing the Swiftspear damage and the board presence is better. I don't know. It's always weird. Because it's like entirely... The one that's better is entirely dependent on what you're up against. And we don't know what our opponent is doing. They aren't really doing anything, because it's their turn and they haven't made a move yet. Looks like we haven't dropped like any frames this stream. That's pretty cool. So, I don't have enough to do much damage here. I'm getting kind of flooded. So I think it's better just to leverage my prowess, especially since this seems to be humans deck, which is more creatures matter deck, which means we're going to want to win with combat tricks, or at least get as far ahead as we can. That's why instead of putting Obosh in our hand, we're just gonna see if they block here. They're not gonna block, so I am going to put Obosh in my hand. I'm not worried about their crackback. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that creature. If that creature kills me, I'll rescind those words, but I am worried about that. That shuts off my deck a little bit. Thalia, it makes every non-creature spell cost 1 more mana to cast. That's honestly annoying. Which is why we're just gonna swing and hope that they're like, oh, well, I can kill one of these with burst strike damage. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna kill it with first strike damage. In hindsight, I should have pumped something else because it would have gained the toughness to survive and kill Thalia. But alas, I'm not always the smart guy. I don't always make the smart decision. And that's okay. I also don't know why I kept that mountain on the top of my deck. I think I was just mid-sentence. But alas, you know, sometimes I'm not the smart. And that's okay. Can't always be the smart. Okay. Obosh is nice. I'm gonna hold up blocks this turn because if I get something that gives any kind of pump, Obosh just scales so much that it's worth it to hold. My random one good thing about being flooded is the random map ruins. I love random map ruins. It deals, you can tap 4 to deal 2 damage. Ooh, Reflector Maze. That card was banned in Standard. I remember that. Because I played red in that Standard and hated this card. Because I also can't cast it next turn. That's what it was. So yeah, it looks like we might lose this game 1. We just got answered too much and I was a little sloppy. Yeah, I'm too sloppy. We'll go to game 2. I was a little unwise that game. It's okay. Can't win them all. So we're going to take out a Built to Smash twice. Bring in End the Festivities. Just because that can take care of Thalia pretty well. But otherwise, winning this matchup is just going really fast. So I just really have to be more aggressive about my hands for this matchup. The last one was keeping a 4-lander was not good for this matchup. It would have been good for other ones where putting down Obosh was pretty aggressive, but alas, we just didn't eke out enough damage before they established a board presence we couldn't respond to. We're gonna play first. This looks good. This is a go under deck hand. This is we'll keep things familiar by swinging with this Spear. We'll bring in creatures next turn, and then we'll double swing with them. We'll double pump, triple swing actually, if we still have creatures. So we can deal a lot of damage with this. If we draw a Thud and they don't have an answer, we can win on turn 3. Other humans get Ward 3. That would suck if I ever targeted any opponent's creature with this deck, but I don't. So let's see what gets blocked and pump everything else. Too bad Phyrexian creatures aren't artifact creatures. Whatever. So what we're gonna do this turn is we're gonna pump. We're gonna pump. Gonna bottom that. We're gonna deal 14 damage. Or no. We're gonna deal 11 damage, but we're gonna deal 14 with the Scamp. And win. Look at that. We're on to game 3. So it's just all about getting under. And that's why Magic is a best of 3 game. Because sometimes you don't know what your opponent's going to do, and you have to readjust your approach. And I think best of 3 games are good. Yu-Gi-Oh! As a best of 1 game is extremely annoying. Because that absence of information does not pair itself well with how much you go off and how much you can play at once. That's an entirely different game. We're playing Magic. I have been on a little bit of a Magic sabbatical and playing a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's been pretty fun. It's good when you really like something and it's also not currently giving you any joy from doing. It's good to take a break. And that's where I was at with Magic. So I took a break. What's wrong with that? Now look at me. I'm playing Magic, enjoying it. Hanging out with you. Hoping I draw something that deals 1 damage to all of my opponent's creatures. But I can still They can give a creature They can give Thalia indestructible, so I can't kill it yet. May not have been wise of me. Do. Who says I can't be even more unwise? We can guarantee that we won't lose the kimono and that we won't lose the scamp because they sacrificed in response. So what we've really done is tricked them into taking some damage and not killing our board. Bouncing isn't really... They bounce kimono, that's annoying. Bouncing this is like, okay, we're already slow. I need an answer for your Thalia anyways, so bouncing my creature isn't really that impactful. Especially since we can kill Thalia. What the hell? Why? Oh, I tapped out. I'm so dumb. Oops. I could have killed Thalia there and the other creature, but I tapped out with Obosh and didn't register. Okay, let's see if we can do Sam Nielsen's deck. So this is a budget stream, so that wouldn't really be the spirit of this stream. Let's see though. Export, export deck list, copy deck list so that I can import it. Let's see if we can import that. Okay, let's see what we need to import this. I have a lot of decks. I've been playing Magic Arena mostly I played it during the pandemic. Let's see what we need to craft or make from this. Oh yeah, we need some rare lands that I don't have those. We can make the uncommons and the commons at least. This is weird because I have some of the Boros lands, but not all these new ones. We might as well craft some of these. Let me craft. I don't know how to craft when it's in this view. Might as well have these for later. Let's see what other Boros lands I do have. Some may still be good enough. We could do this list. I'll post it. Wait, no. Land, there we go. Where's my Boros lands? Oh, I need to set the format so it doesn't show me options from work. There's a pathway for this, right? Or is there only the other color pairs for pathways? That's annoying. If you're only gonna do one set with lands like that, you ought to just do both. For everything. Okay, here's the Boros lands I have. So I almost have enough battlefield forges so we can cut one. Yeah, Snarl's a slow land, but it's not irrelevant. Not like I won't be able to play this deck if I have one of them in. Yeah, and that's perfect. Yeah, we can play this deck. Let's see if the sideboard... I have the sideboard. Alright, let's just name this deck what it is. Sam Nielsen Boros. Let's see what old Boros decks I have. Prowess was this. Oh, that was Prowess. Oh yeah, Boros Explorer. I remember this one. Yeah, this one's fun. And this one would constitute a budget deck. I'm gonna play this one. I want to keep it budget. I want to keep... Even though I made that other deck, I'll play it on another stream, but this is a budget stream. We will play the Boros Prowess deck, though. Boros Historic on Explorer. Because it was once a historic deck. Let's go. Let's have a goofy time. Because, you know, I think challenging ourselves a bit would be fun. The other deck I've played with a lot. Might as well do something else. Keep things fresh, even for me. Y'all having a good Sunday? Still out there, Alexis? Okay. This deck seems resilient. Okay, that's a lot better. That's so much better. Are you kidding me? The mana base is slow. But we don't really have a move until turn 2. Anyhow? Wow, what are the odds? Because if we play Illuminancer, we have to keep... Gosh. Oh, there was a pathway for Boros. If we play Illuminancer, we have to keep it safe. Or else we lose. This is a glass cannon deck. This is what my Kiln Fiend video is about. My video essay about glass cannon decks. This is the Explorer equivalent. Our lands are slowing us down. We haven't lost. But they do have a card called Drown in the Lock that can counter our protection. This is a card where whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +2 power and +2 toughness. And that can get pretty out of hand. So here we're gonna give our creature protection. Black. Scry 1, so our draw is better. They may have more creature destruction, but at least we're 1 for 1. Darn! I guess they are a mill deck. Which won't hurt me when I play Dreadhorde Arcanist. We're gonna eke out one more turn because a lot of the removal in Dimir decks is pointed. Oh, like that. So if we had 3 creatures, that would have been pretty crazy. But either way, we don't really want to go off until we can swing with our board. They have 5 lands. And 1 card in hand. Oh, shoot. Okay. Guess we weren't even on ranked there. That's funny. Sometimes you don't play ranked. Yeah, that was just explorer play. I'm silly. I'm what they call a goofball sometimes. I'm what they call silly sometimes. Let's try to do punch on, or Boros Prowess unranked. See how it goes. I don't know if this deck list has a sideboard. I may have just queued up without a sideboard. Let me see if I can cancel. That was silly of me. Let's see. Boros Explorer. Do you have a sideboard, Boros Explorer? Yes. A sideboard from standard, but a sideboard nonetheless. That's acceptable. For my budget aspirations, that's fine. Yeah, no, this Sam Nielsen deck is $300 in paper. I guess if you really like Pioneer and you play a lot of Pioneer, that's fine. Or if you have the cards in your collection. But me personally, like, I could never just outright buy a $300 deck and like, well, never say never. Gonna play Boros Land. Let's go. Ooh, you're gonna draw some cards. You're gonna... Let's see if we're up against Izzet or Mono Blue. It's probably Izzet. That's what everyone's playing. Guess that is good. Didn't even know that was in my deck. Woo! Let's see. Yeah, so this doesn't really have prowess because it's only... Oh, everything I have targets it, so it doesn't really matter. Functionally prowess for my circumstances. Okay. Judging by getting my creature removed last turn, I'm gonna hold up protection. Because in this type of deck, if you lose board presence and you've played all your creatures, you've lost the game. Game's over. I love that I can scry one in Boros. Yeah, let's bottom that. Here we have some removal for a Ledger Shredder. Deal 4 damage to it, so even when it gains 1 toughness from this, it doesn't matter. They did put something in the graveyard that they want to have in the graveyard. But on 3 lands, it's a little hard for them to cast enough to bring back an Arc-like Phoenix. So for now, we're okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good. And that's how you do Boros Heroic. Are you going to destroy my creature now, or am I fine? Maybe I should have held up protection, but I got a little lost in the fun. And most damaging effects can't deal... Ah! As I was saying it, most damaging effects can't deal with 6 power toughness, but... Yeah, bouncing it certainly does. More protection is good. So because we can't deal lethal this turn, and its current power toughness can next turn deal lethal, we're gonna hold up protection. Keep our little friend safe. Yeah, gonna protect this from red. Which also makes it bigger. That's why I said next turn we could deal lethal damage. Oh. Darn. So now we have come to the worst part about playing a glass cannon deck, which is when our creatures were all destroyed. This means that unless I draw a creature, there isn't much I can do about my opponent. And they're going to be able to play some creatures this turn, specifically a 3/2 flyer. So we did draw a creature. That's an instant and that's an instant, so we don't have to do anything right now. We don't have to do anything at all. We can just protect our beautiful creature. They have 3 cards in hand, so maybe they can deal with my protection. They can cast a creature for free, but we can give it my creature protection from blue so that the blue creature can't block it. Oh, that was a different creature. Okay. Haha, bet you didn't think I had double protection. Haha. They're looking for something that can help. Haha, yeah. Protection from red. Yeah. That's 4 damage to the face. Boom. We won with a card that everyone was like, ooh, this card might be good, and then wasn't. Portable Hole is a great named card, and it's also great for dealing with Ledger Sled. That is a 2. I'm gonna bring that in. Got this. But I'm not sure how many of those. I don't have a lot of experience sideboarding with. I think that's okay. Oh, whoa. Let's not take out a plane. That was an accident. Yeah, maybe some heroic creatures would be good in this, but seems okay as is right now. I think that Clever Illuminator is better than most heroic creatures. At least that are available on Magic. But this is with the intention of being budget, and other than the mana base, this deck is budget. I was looking at that and I was like, wait, this mana base is not budget at all. So we'll only play one this round with it. For that reason. We're still having fun. We can't cast anything turn 1, so we're just gonna have this expensive land come intact. Okay. So Leon and Light Scribe is a really cute creature. Gives everything +1/+1 whenever you cast it. Kind of like Prowess. But it's kind of expensive for a Prowess creature. Usually, Prowess creatures, or Prowess-esque creatures, you want to be 1 mana. But like I showed with the 10th District Legionnaire, they can be pretty good when they are 2. Is a funny card or a furry card? Funny card. Okay, so we are gonna bring that back in. And yeah. We'll signal to our opponent that we don't have protection, just to eke out protection. Who cares? We still got this little guy. Double strike. Would have been better to have a Monastery Swift Spear in this deck, but this deck is from Historic during Strixhaven, so it's a bit acceptable that some things have aged weird. Like just grabbing your old deck you used to play with and telling the world that you were mean business. Putting it back in some sleeve. Playing Magic the Gathering. We are going to try and take out this Drake. Didn't work out. We're going to get some Scryed card draw, which is always a good combo. Grab that. I know I could have done more damage this turn, but I think the Scry card draw better. Dreadhorde Arcanist is really fun. Getting a double strike is really fun. Excited to see what we can do with this. And I think unless our opponent starts getting some Phoenixes in the graveyard, it's going to be hard for them to deal with this. Got one. Speak of the devil, me and my big mouth. They did grab removal, but you know, we're not going to give up. We have protection. Always use protection. Check this out. Darn. At least we get to scry more protection. Yeah, they've tempoed me out with this Cackling Drake. If they didn't have a Cackling Drake, we could have taken this, but yeah, they've got next turn. Good game. Kidding. Go to game 3. After this, we'll bring back Mono Red Punch. The goofy little deck. Goofy little budget deck, just like how I described this stream to be. Mono 1, yeah. Let's go Mono 1. Okay. This deck is a little worse. This hand is a little worse, but I believe in the dream. I believe in the meme. Scratching me. I do believe in the meme. Oh yeah. Let's go. Swing for 2. Bring out the 1 mana creature that we can protect with an instant. Yeah, you thought you were gonna deal 2 damage and kill my creature? Well, here it gets 2 health. Yeah. Take that. What are you gonna do? Oh no. May have lost this one. Good game, but they still have to win. I'm a goofball, and this deck isn't very great. Alright, let's go. Yeah, see, one of the reasons why I prefer the punch deck is a lot of times if your creatures are going to get blown up, you can still deal a lot of damage to your opponent because a lot of the creatures deal damage equal to their power to the opponent, and your deck is all power-based pump cards. With some tinkering, a Boros variant of the punch deck could be possible. But that probably wouldn't differentiate much from Ben Nielsen's Boros Prowess deck. Let's see if this works. Red Horde Arcanist ain't bad. So, we'll still play this out. They've probably got it, but we'll play it out. Yeah, that deals 3 damage to my creature. I wanted to use the Homestead Courage for, this card. No, it was a good question. Okay. This card does pump twice on cast, I believe. No! Ah, thought it did. It still draws a card. Now let's just see if they can bounce my creature. I don't have any protection, so I'm just gonna use this. Oh yeah, it's not an instant. It would be too good if it was an instant. It'd be great. Oh man. That's the one thing I didn't want them to do. Because we know they have creature removal in their hand. The flashback is where you can cast it for the flashback card and then exile it. Okay, so this isn't a horrible thing to do. They have to remove something. They're gonna remove that. But if I had ended the turn there, my Leonin Light Scribe would have been destroyed. And this is at sorcery speed, so we couldn't have pumped anything to be outside of the range of that card to begin with. So sometimes you gotta use known information and just leverage to your only options. Oh man, but they got that back in their hand. Okay, let's try this. That was... Oh, they're all tapped out. Of course that worked. I was like, wait, why didn't they just bolt that? I should have... Well, scrying one doesn't really matter, but for the extra damage I should have... That was a misplay. Should have gotten the extra counter on 10th Street Legionnaire. But with Reckless Rage, I'm in a pretty good position anyways. As long as I have a creature and can remove this Shredder. Yeah. They should have. So this has to be the first one I do so that it doesn't connive, but here we go. Just gonna show off a little bit. And we got the W! Yo! Magic the Gathering! With a Strixhaven historic list, we won a best of 3 in Explore. That was ranked though, wasn't it? I didn't see my rank go up. Did I just do best of 3 play? No, I just didn't see the icon come up. That's... Okay. I'm very quickly going to grab my water bottle. Be right back. You may see the fact that I'm in pajamas because it's a snow day and I'm streaming from home. Okay, I got my awesome sippy cup that Lex gave me, and we're gonna play some Magic with some cool tunes. 6 concurrent viewers. Usually my streams, knock on wood, usually my streams aren't this good. That was a pretty good pull from this pack, too. Boros Surveillance. Gonna do best of 3 punch. A deck I would like to take to a tournament. There is a Pioneer RCQ. No, a Pioneer NRG on 420. And I may bring this deck to that. Because I think it's actually pretty good. The surprise factor is there. And it just can wipe the floor with some matchups. I think as long as it doesn't go too off. Though I've never FIDO'd with it in a Magic League, but you never know. People that do Moto Leagues and people that go to NRGs sometimes aren't the same people. They usually are. They're usually enfranchised players. Soulscar Mage. We got Rakdos, so this is probably going to be the Vampire deck. Which means, yep, we are going to have to bring in Roiling Vortexes for life gain. And just try to get under them as quick as possible. So, next turn we're going to swing big. Whether it's 2 lands or 3 lands, we can't afford to wait against vampires because every turn 3 can be a Sorin. Okay. That card's not as much of a threat as we thought it might be. So yeah, let's just swing in. See if they block. They're not blocking, so we might just win right here. Oh yeah, we win. That's that surprise factor I was telling you about. Some people are great players, and you still just run into a deck that you don't. No, I'm not gonna proliferate that. You don't know how to deal with. Sorry, Pinkie Pie. But assuming we don't have Christmas Land Magic again, we are going to take out Obosh bring in Jagantha because we're going to bring in Roiling Vortex. Why does it say no? Oh, I guess that must be a signifier that it came from the sideboard. The sideboard is a little rough in this deck sometimes. Actually, I think Infuriate is our weakest card against this matchup. This is more restrictive. There you go. It's hard to sideboard this deck sometimes. But most of my sideboards amount to Roiling Vortex times 4. At least that's what it amounts to for what's coming in. So now they're going to be afraid of whatever I have. Yeah, you can duress me. That's fine. I have a Vortex. Okay, this isn't the vampire deck I thought it was, because they would see that Roiling Vortex and say, what? I can't gain 6 life off of a little bit of combat? Swap with me. Discard that. And the fact that it was a duress instead of a Thoughtseize makes this player a little sus to me. Because, yeah. We'd normally see a Thoughtseize. Do I get the board presence or do I play the Vortex? I play the Vortex. They'll be like, oh, we can trade here. And yeah, we can. Then you lose your sacrifice for your Vein Ripper. If you are playing Vein Ripper. And I put down other creatures you can't trade with. This doesn't seem like a Vein Ripper deck. Just based off of some very tiny cues. That Death Toucher is annoying. Holding up one land in case they... There are other ways to gain life in Pioneer. Okay. Better than losing this. That's what they would have picked. They couldn't choose a land. Honestly, I want to stay ahead on board. So, we're doing this. That did sacrifice some opportunity costs. We have Jagantha. This deck isn't gonna counter me. We can remove their life gain, so not all lost if the deck doesn't follow the strategy for this matchup, I don't think. More lost if they get a Vein Ripper on the board. They discarded a Duress when they... Oh, they couldn't make me discard Jagantha. More sense. Can't gain life. I think playing Jagantha here is a better move. They can make a 2/2, so we can't just endlessly swing out with Monasteries of Sphere. But swinging for 8 with Titan Strength and Jagantha ain't bad. So hitting for 10 with Thud and Jagantha ain't bad. Especially if they tap this for colorless. I love the art on this. Great. If they tap that for colored mana, they'll taking 1 damage, which is cute. Uh, don't kill my creature. That's fine, you can swing at me with this. Aw. Didn't realize that discarded my cards. Oh, it doesn't discard, that's fine. Since I have Ranu map, I don't think that scrying is worth the damage, the opportunity cost of using Titan's Strength there. I'd rather have Titan's Strength and to draw. Yeah, you can exile something from my graveyard, I don't care. Could have held on to that. You could have played that to block. Now you might lose. You have no cards in hand, and you can't activate your Mutavault, and you have 9 health. They have 9 health because of the Whirling Vortex. For clarification. Yeah. That was a dumb move. That was unwise. That Mutavault in that land could have blocked me for days. Silly. Sometimes my opponents are silly too. Sometimes my opponents are silly. Sometimes I'm silly and want to buy packs in game because I have gold, but I could use that gold for limited. Even though I'm not gonna pretend that I enjoy limited. Not really my thing. I prefer constructed a lot more. It's just me. Sometimes limited is fun. I have more fun playing limited because my friends are playing it than actually playing limited, if I had to give an opinion on limited. It's not my first choice on how to play Magic, but if my friends are all getting together, that's way more fun than not playing Magic. I don't know, maybe I'm just not in my limited phase yet. So much of it is just contingent on your pick and a certain amount of RNG, unless you're doing one of the drafts where all the information is available to you at once. And that just doesn't make a positive play experience for me. I would rather be rewarded for preparation, which I guess studying a limited format does reward you for preparation, but it's not the same. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't deny that limited is a fun format and is good. It's just not my thing, and that's okay. We got so something fun about this creature is that it bounces a land at your to your hand. But if you haven't played a land that turn, that actually puts an untapped land onto the battlefield. And it only happens when the creature deals damage to your opponents. Right now I can currently pump for 6. So on a trample hasty body, that's pretty good. Okay. We're gonna try and kill this Shredder. See if they have any blocks. Okay, that's 9 damage. That is, I think, 14. So they should have blocked. And that's why Mono Red Punch is a fun deck. Look at it. Look at it in the deck view. It's all one drop cards. And it's so cheap. It's like a $60 Pioneer deck. It's so much fun. And it has a companion, and you can just slot in a companion for anything other than using Kari Zeb's expertise, or for anything even that you need from the sideboard. It's a lot of fun. 2 thumbs up to this budget deck. I love it. I play it in paper. I think it's fun in Pioneer because Pioneer removal and Pioneer early game interaction is still in a very hit or miss place. It's good in black, it's good in red if you do enough damage. In blue, it's not great unless you commit to bouncing or you commit to some kind of counter spells with restrictions. And you know, in green and in white, you explore twice if they run the exiling spell. So I think it's really fun. And look at me. This hand, especially for yeah, all Magic is RNG. I'll give you that, Kagan. That's a good point. Yeah, I would rather do longer form prep than on showing up and being like, oh, what am I gonna do? Okay. So we are gonna trigger Ledger Shredder. It's just a reality of the matchup. We can still go above Ledger Shredder using Monstrous Rage next turn. It may have been better to do Kumano, but the double Monstrous Rage on Cacophony Scamp is just so good. That is 16 damage. Well, actually no, because you don't get the +1 from the other thing, so it's not 16. But it is a lot. Okay. Okay. We can still kill Legislator here and get some damage through. Yeah. Well. Oh, that was rough. But I'm up a game, and we have Obosh, so not all hope is lost. But that is how Ledger Shredder wins, is removing your creatures. That's all you have to do. So if I draw a land, it will be good to Obosh, and if I don't, we can see what we got. Is giving a +1/+1. I think Oboshing anyways is putting it in my hand doesn't really hurt. We may be going to game 3 though. Usually a double. If they hadn't removed, if I had dealt combat damage there, this would be a different game, but I didn't. And we actually added to their graveyard, which isn't what we particularly wanted to do. But that's okay. There's a reason that this deck is the most prominent deck in the format. And I really enjoy my deck's counterplay to it more than most other decks. Yeah. I think they got it. They have 10 flying damage on the board. I have less than 10 health. And I couldn't deal lethal to them. That's okay. We go to game 3, where we can go first, and we try again. Thank you all for tuning in. If you aren't subscribed, I do bug videos, but I do also stream. I used to stream a lot. Haven't streamed a lot lately. But I think doing more streams is something I'll do because I think it's really fun. Like putting on a show. Just like it's weird because I make long form Pokemon videos, but I don't really want to stream Pokemon anymore. I feel like I stream the Coliseum playthrough, and that's good enough for me. I don't. There's only so many Pokemon games you can stream. I know some streamers will like endlessly do Pokemon games, but I'd rather not that. Yeah, I have some pseudo protection for my Scamp in the event that they deal 2 damage to it. Not crazy, but it is something. Okay. We might be dealing a lot here. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This build to smash gives 3 toughness, which is pretty good in this matchup. Yeah, and we got pump there. $16 damage on turn 2. Kinda hard to respond to that. Cause now even if Fireblade Charger dies, if I pump it with Infuriate, I get lethal. And even if it dies with 1 power, I can random map Ruins. So here we go. That's why this deck is fun. I mean, granted, it's easy to be in a winning position when you deal 18 damage, but people underestimate how easy it is to be in a winning condition with Cacophony Scamp in Explore, in Pioneer. How easy it is for it to be in a position where, oh, I have 2 free mana and I'm swinging with a 1/1 that you know if it dies, I can sacrifice it, and if it dies, it deals its damage and power. Okay, yeah, you're gonna block it heavily, which is gonna kill my Fireblade Charger, but that's totally fine because now I deal 4 damage to face. There we go. That's the boogeyman of the format. That's the best deck, one of the most represented decks in the format right now. I wouldn't say the best deck, but that's Arclight Phoenix. You're rarely gonna 2-0 that matchup, but you're rarely gonna 0-2. That's what I'll say. Do y'all like this punch deck? Does it give you as much excitement as it gives me? This VOD is gonna be so disconjointed because I started with standard, and then I transitioned to Boros. I guess I could change the VOD to just be the punch deck. Can cut what's public. No, because then that uploads as a video. I don't want to do that. It is what it is. We like it that way. It is what it is. We like it that way. This has been a very fun stream. Thank you for watching. I'm debating on playing some Helldivers with my friends, which would have to be a completely different stream. Because I don't want someone's experience to be turning on a Magic VOD and seeing a game that's totally different. I already talked about this a bit. This is not a land you can keep. That's one downside of Kumano. It's sort of a creature slot, but you can't You can't keep a hand with just Kumano. Can't keep a one-lander. So you know what? Versal Scar Mage. That's fine. Would have been a little more graceful if it had one more card, but for mulling to 5, that's what you gotta do. Duressing is not fun, but at least we got Denna the Bugbear, which doesn't really do anything until I have 5 mana. Whatever. Rakdos is a tough matchup. Let's see if our opponent gets their turn 3 Sorin. If they do, we're kind of fucked. If they block with their Blood Tithe, yeah, that's not too bad. Losing the Fireblade is not the same as following the strategy of the deck, but yeah, that's not too bad. For the position we're in, that isn't too bad. Because getting Obosh down is much better. Oh, fuck. Well, at least Obosh costs 3 mana of mine and 1 mana of theirs to deal 2 damage to them. So yeah, since this is game 1, we don't have any Roiling Vortexes. Ooh. Ooh, we're in trouble. This might be a scoop. We didn't mulligan that great. They had answers for Obosh. That's just the way it goes. Usually most hands with this deck have been pretty good. I haven't had to mulligan that aggressively with this deck, because it helps when everything costs 1 mana. I'm just gonna give it to them on that front. So it is good to know that they're running this, so that I can bring in a... Okay, so we're gonna bring in 4 Rolling Vortex, keeping Power Toughness. Toughness doesn't really matter, so Built to Smash is out. Claim the Firstborn for 1 Kumano, even though that's technically bringing in a sorcery for a That's technically bringing in a sorcery for what becomes a creature. I think that Claim the Firstborn for some of their creatures is just really good, because it can grab that 2/4 that can restrict the damage output of my deck. Which could even give me 1/1 creatures. It's a lot better against decks with low cost, high power toughness creatures like Phoenix, but like Ledger Sledder from Phoenix. I don't want to multi-5, so this will have to do. Wow, those mulligans were unlucky. Maybe I should have multi-5. Especially if they just have a creature removal right here. Very awkward to play that on turn 2. Man, I started to get cocky. Fatal Push. Scrying is good. Scrying is good for this. Yeah, we're gonna keep a land because then we can get Jugantha. Scrying and dealing 4. And then keeping a land so that we can get Jugantha. It's not glamorous, but it's what we're doing. I'm not bringing that until I have 4 lands because they have some removal. They have some hand removal. And I want to limit the turns in which they can use that. Okay. So now we can cast a Scamp and a Jegantha. In hindsight, I probably should have mulled to 5. Just so that I could get a Roiling Vortex. But what's done is by definition done. I also think trading this Kumano and the token isn't a terrible trade. And if not, I can deal damage. Dang, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is good. For a 3-mana card, it could go in this deck. Honestly, it totally could. Might trip things up a tiny bit. What are those counters? Dang. Losing Scamp sucks. But having Jegantha sure doesn't. Especially since I can, yeah, deal a lot with Jegantha. So it looks like they might have me here if they replicate their Archfiend using Kiki Jiki, which creates a target your creature. Oh my gosh, and gaining 6 life by giving that lifelink. I'm gonna play it out because it's game 3, but we've lost this game most likely. Unless, if we drew a Thud, we could have potentially won. Yeah, but we're done. Rakdos is hit or miss, but we can still beat Rakdos. We gotta go under Rakdos and we gotta block Rakdos life gain. But Rakdos is hit or miss. It might be fun to do a best of 1 explore event, but the amount of people that play that is really low. So the wait time is like 7 to 12 minutes. And this is a live stream. Because you know, how many arena players are going to do an event for best of 1 explore? A low amount of players do those kind of best of 1 events to begin with. Okay. I think we'll do 1 more best of 3, and then we'll close it out with just 1 Yu-Gi-Oh game for fun. I think that would be a good way to resolve the stream. I don't know if I'm gonna play Helldivers on stream tonight. I may. It'll just pop up if it happens. But thank you for tuning in. Always remember that. Well, I mean, we still got a game of this and a game of Yu-Gi-Oh left, but I'm still working on the bug videos. They're taking a while because I want to have all of the entries done before I put out any shorts. And gosh, I really hope they don't take my Swift Spear. They're probably gonna. Haha, yeah. I want to have my video completely done before I put out any shorts, because that way the shorts can bring viewers to the video rather than the shorts building an audience and then I drop the video and it's what the audience has already seen. And that way when those shorts are being dropped for a 10-week period, I can have some growth while I'm working on the next entry. So it's front-ending some work, but I think it's important for the growth of the channel, And I also think it allows me to spend the most time polishing each entry. Where last time I didn't quite get that time because I had already put out a short from the entry, so I didn't want to change it too much. Some good damage here. Yeah, I might as well, since it can only happen when I'm attacking or blocking, might as well get that damage through. Unlucky Witness might not be the worst card for this deck if I'm ever gotta play around with stuff. Those top twos aren't relevant. That's the fun thing about the deck, is that it seems so... On the surface it may seem narrow, but it's actually got a lot of it does have a lot of flexibility. I'm still gonna swing here. Because it's more about, in the Rakdos matchup, it's more about taking away options by virtue of doing upfront damage. Yeah, make me discard a land. Ooh. And that's why we hold the Obosh until this turn, because we can cast a creature and we can put Obosh in our hand. Piewayers, yeah. My way or the Pieway. I'm gonna hold on to Crucible of Defiance because those will deal 2 damage. Those will deal double damage with Obosh out. Because Obosh counts, for whatever reason, Obosh counts 0 as even. Let's see. Oh, did my Epidemic sound stop? Wow, we hit the end of the playlist. That's crazy. I really like this song, so I'm gonna play it again. Get some hasty tokens. Gonna swing with Obosh. You wanna download a land? You wouldn't block with a Mayhem Devil and lose your creature. Oh, dang. That destroys my tokens. I'm a silly man. At least the Mayhem Devil's done. Should have seen that coming, especially because now they can gain life. So that would be mana intensive for what they're doing. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. As always, I do have a Patreon. I don't take it... anything I work on for this channel is always going to be public, or at least going to be public for a while, so Patreon isn't, it's just to give me money. It's just to help fund the content, but you'll see the content anyways. But it gives me more flexibility with what I do, is what I'll say. Let's see if they block Kiki Jiki. Okay. I accept this block. I think this might deal 4 damage. No, I guess since it's an ability. But I could have sworn Obosh counted 0 as even. Oh, you're gonna make. Oh, what? Oh, I couldn't cast that at instant. That's true. Dang. This Obosh creates problems because I think this only deals 2 damage. Let's find out. Or this Croxa creates problems. No, don't destroy my Kumano. No! No! You know that meme where it's like, no! 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 That's what I was feeling. Where it shows the capybara going to jail. Aww. I just got a $1 patron. Thank you so much, Lex. It was really nice of you. I don't particularly like, you know, any amount of patronage is nice. I don't necessarily deserve it, so. Alright, well, we got lethal. Probably because I just got that patronage. Zero is counted as even. Okay, good to know. Okay, so for this, for Rakdos, we're still gonna bring in Vortex. It's funny because if you get your opponent to low life, you can still just win with a creature that if you pump it, it kills, and if it gets blocked, it kills. Because it dies with the power and toughness it had that was lethal. Can't keep this. Yeah, can't keep it. I've learned too many times you can't keep a hand like that. Hey, Mountain can go to the bottom for this deck. Better to pump a charger and have a vortex. We're gonna hold the charger because that way if they destroy it we can at least pump it. It's cute. It's not super impactful. It's more cute, but you gotta leverage your advantage. Though, I call this a Rakdos deck, but this is more Rakdos Sacrifice than Rakdos Vampire, it seems. Cool. Glad I held on to protection for Charger, since this Mayhem Devil can cause some problems. Not gonna block that. If we drew Thud here, that'd be so cool. Another Roiling ain't bad, though. See what you can do. We ping! That ping can't be lethal. We're just pumping. That sucks. Might as well deal more damage though. Dang, that did suck. Maybe I shouldn't have used that last pump, but oh well. This ain't a bad play. Especially since that got rid of their oven. Doesn't seem like they're running a cat, but it still got rid of their oven. So, not speak of the devil, the feline devil. Oh god. That might just be too much. Yeah, they get my creature endlessly. There's only one way I can really win this. Can I even win by blocking? Let's see. I don't want to just throw it away. Yeah, let's play it out. Let's let him kill me. The deck they're playing is ancient in terms of Magic decks. Yeah, I'll let them kill me this way. Sure. You got it. Dang, we were up to 8 viewers for a little bit there. That's pretty good for the channel. But the best thing for the channel is just making things y'all want to see. As long as this is somewhat entertaining, I'm happy. Something you can go back when you want to see a budget Magic deck. Food. Yes, Zach, that Tommy video, I did add the fart sound effect. That probably sounds weird out of context. My friend did a video on his podcast. He went off on a bit about how, like, whenever you're on screen, whenever you put footage of yourself on the internet or any content on the internet, you don't get control of what people do with that, and you just have to come to terms with that. So I added a bunch of fart noises to him saying that, and then tweeted the clip and was like, Tommy shared something really profound about being an artist, and is doing exactly what he described. Okay, so we're in a good position to win here. Depends on what blocks they do. Okay. Could we have killed the devil? I don't know. Should have killed the devil, you're right. For some reason I thought it was getting sacrificed in the process. That was a misplay on my part. I do think that killing the harvester here is the move. I don't think drawing a land is the move. Is dealing 7 damage to face the move? No, killing... Well, we're gonna kill the harvester anyways. It'd be nice if we had trample, but I think dealing 7 damage to the face might be the move. Yeah, it's not really much different than if I put it on the Soulscar Mage, so... Oh. Fuck me! That's totally different because the scamp didn't die! Oh, oh man. Oh, we love a misplay. Ooh. You know that meme where the person's doing math in their head? That was me, but the math got me a bad grade. We're still pretty wide on board, and we have a lot of things that can be turned into damage dealers, and we can cast a Jegantha, so we haven't lost this game. That sucked, man. That sucked. We have options, but that set us back. At least we can kill this one. Still have stuff on board. Oh, that's annoying. Just a sign that this stream needs to come to an end before I'm even more dumb. But we will play one game of Yu-Gi-Oh! One game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's about the worst draw we could have gotten. Not terrible. We can still swing. I don't care. Without Obosh, our companion's kind of independent. If it's the only thing in our hand, then... Oh man, but yeah. I guess giving my opponent cards off the top of their deck isn't good. I guess I'm a little tilted. I'm playing a little dumb because I'm a little tilted. If we draw a land, we can play Jagantha. If we don't, we can swing with Fireblade Charger, maybe for more damage. If we play Jagantha, we're opening ourselves up to them gaining life, and they have a Jagantha in hand. Is it better to pass the turn and hold up the life gain blocking than to just get the board present? And this taps all of my lands. I'm just gonna... You can gain your pathetic life, Yugi. I'm gonna play a Jagantha. Jagantha is pretty good with Pump against my opponent. If they don't play their 5... If they don't cast Jagantha here, or remove my Jagantha, what are they gonna do? Gain life? That's kind of okay. Not amazing for them. Oh, but that's pretty good for them. I always forget about that removal. Okay, so we're gonna hold up blocking their life gain. And let random map deal some damage. Okay, so since they've committed to doing that, I'm gonna let random map do. Getting trample on something I swing with is good. This was one of the better draws. Ah! Ah! That was entirely on me. They gained life off of that. Oh, that was dumb of me. I should have done held random map. Ugh. At least I can block their life gain. They've won because of all these misplays, probably. I'm at 5 life. Yeah. We'll see. That life game probably got me, though. Cause I could have pinged for 4. Ugh. Sometimes I am stupid dumb. Guaranteeing my death to Croxa. Just 'cause I'm cute. Good game. Do it! What are you waiting for? Kill me. I'm gonna activate that they can't gain life 3 times. Ha ha ha. Yeah, do it. Kill me. Oh, that was silly. Can't win them all. But we can play some Yu-Gi-Oh! One moment while I get that launched. Get that on OBS. Yeah, we're just gonna play a little Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic's not a game I can play endlessly. Alright, let me add Yu-Gi-Oh! As a thing in OBS. One moment. Window capture. Yu-Gi-Oh! And we just put that, we layer that back here. I like my style. There we go. Yeah. So, if you don't like Yu-Gi-Oh, I won't judge you if you leave. But if you're open-minded to seeing another TCG game, I like them both. So. Let me see if that's keeping up. Doesn't look like it's following what the window is showing. Doesn't look like OBS is keeping up, so give me 1 second. Like locked on the like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel thing. Second. Wait, disable that and enable that. Oh. Okay. Weird. Not sure why I did that, but there we go. I'm gonna update the stream so it says and Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm extra considerate. One moment. What the heck? There's my live stream. Alright, I opened the wrong thing. Then Yu-Gi-Oh! D. We're gonna play DDD deck. Woo! Alright, we'll play some Yu-Gi-Oh! I want y'all to see how... Zach, I want you to stay on this and see how absurd a turn 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Game can be. Turn 1 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be. It's quite absurd. I have to pull up the combos on my phone because of how intricate they are. I literally have to pull up image with the combo because it's 22 sequenced. It's 22 steps. Okay, this is a great opening hand, so I'm gonna pull out a different combo for that. Alright, we're gonna try this combo. We're gonna play Dark Contract with the gate. We're gonna use Dark Contract with the gate to grab DD Necro Slime. We're going to play DD Savant Copernicus. We're going to place into the graveyard this Griffin card. Here it is. Then we're going to do a fusion using DD Swirl Slime as polymerization to get Genghis using DD and fusion Necro Slime. We're going to summon Genghis. Then we're going to use Necro Slime, which allows us to fusion summon using materials in our graveyard to make another Genghis. The ETB of Genghis. Well, I guess it's ETF in Yu-Gi-Oh! Will allow us to revive Griffin from the graveyard. When we revive Griffin from the graveyard, when it's special summoned, we can grab a contract card. So we're going to grab a contract card. Put that into our hand. Now we have some protection for our DD creatures. And then we are going to XYZ summon a little card called Wave High King Caesar. And then, when we Wave High King Caesar, we're going to use two of our other creatures to link summon Savant Copernicus and Griffin. Isn't this crazy? Imagine having to memorize this. Yo players do. Then we're going to set our scales using Gilgamesh's ability. We're going to set our pendulum scales, which is a totally broken and really complicated gameplay loop. Setting scales, that is. Then, once we've set our scales, we can pendulum summon these two creatures back from the pendulum deck. Not broken one bit. Very cool. And then we can XYZ... No, we don't need to do that. We can XYZ summon High King Caesar! Woo! And then on High King Caesar, we can overlay the beautiful King Tell. And then, using King Tell as material, we can summon another Gilgamesh, as well as this Gilgamesh, which sends a bunch of things to our graveyard, which will trigger some stuff. When this goes to the graveyard, doesn't make much sense. I gotta see that again. Okay. I don't know why it had me do that. That's okay. Oh. Bring this back. Oh, that's what we wanted to do. I'm a fool. I staggered my triggers wrong. Though I actually don't know how to stagger triggers in this game. Because I was supposed to send this to the graveyard. Then foolish summon it. But at least we get this. Just misplayed pretty hard. Doesn't really matter. So we can still use this effect to do what we were going to do. What does that do? No, that would negate it, which is the equivalent of countering it. Alright. Now we're gonna summon a great card. A better version of the Genghises we were already using. We could have revived Tell. We can revive Tell. We can revive Tell. If we hadn't used that DDD effect, we could have done it a different way, but this will do. Okay, we have to play faster because we only have 60 seconds for this crazy combo. Yes, we revive Tell. No, we don't do that. Okay, and that is basically our turn. No, we use Tell, use this to get this. But having Tell in our field is good because if we can set if it gets sent to the graveyard for any reason, we can get a contract. So this is Yu-Gi-Oh! We have lethal damage on board on turn 1. And we have protection. We have ways to negate spells. Yeah, couldn't I use this to negate that spell? What the hell? So we can use this to take this creature, which also, I believe, negates the effect on the stack, because when you take the creature, it loses its effects. Yeah, we're gonna use this. Catch. Negate Dragon Veiler. We'll gain a bunch. I'll gain it to control this. That effect does get negated. So we have responded to them. They can bring a card to hand, which knowing this game could still go crazy, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me know if you're seeing this and if you think this game is crazy, because I think it's crazy, but not really in a fun way, especially not for best of one. It's kind of cool, but like, you just do so much that like, how can you build a meta around it responding? Like, how could my opponent have responded to that meaningfully in a best of one game? In a best of two game, I can see how they could have sided in answers. But yeah, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fun, and it's also not fun. But anyways, thank you for tuning into this stream. As I said earlier, I might play some Helldivers on stream later. If I do, it'll just upload, and it'll just be there. It won't be scheduled ahead of time. And if I don't, I do plan to stream more. The bug video's coming. It's really well polished, and most of the bugs are done. I have an intro and outro that is like kind of like a short film, and I do just want that extra polish on it, because as much as I want to with some timeliness upload to this channel, I want to make sure that every upload is good enough to transcend time. Like, I want it to be good. So keep an eye out. I was hoping to get it done by the end of this month, which might give you some insight into how close I am based on what I was also just saying. So it'll be out when it's out.